November 20th, 2018, the CDC placed a consumer warning advising U.S. consumers not to eat romaine lettuce due to an E. coli outbreak with proof of 52 different cases across the country. The highest areas with cases were New Jersey and California, which both had 11 cases. According to the CDC's webpage regarding this disease, E. coli is a bacterial disease that attacks the immune system, causing severe vomiting and abdominal pain. Many franchises made the quick decision to start using iceberg lettuce in place of the romaine until the conclusion of the investigation. As of November 27, 2018, the FDOH sent out another message stating that their investigation had come to a close, and Florida had been cleared of the recall placed on the lettuce. Other states are still being investigated. When running a restaurant, it is important to think of cost when purchasing food products, and the debate on whether to require stricter food grade requirements is an issue to ensure safety to consumers. Today I will explain to you the problems that come with restaurants both local and chain when they choose to use a cheaper product or choose not to follow health code policies, followed by solutions that can resolve these current issues, concluded by my personal opinion on why our food must be held to a higher standard and how we can reach that goal through action steps I have created. The first thing we need to be made aware of is the current laws in place regarding food safety and those who place them, followed by the problems created by those who break them. The U.S. has several agencies in place to ensure food safety and quality is held to a high degree. However, certain restaurants choose to ignore these laws and cause problems for consumers. The federal agencies that are included in making the current food safety laws are the CDC, the FDOH, the FSIS, the USDA, and the OSHA. The CDC are the Center for Disease Control and Prevention. The FDOH are the Florida Department of Health and Human Services. The FSIS are the Food Safety and Inspection Service. The USDA are the United States Department of Agriculture. The OSHA are the Occupational Safety and Health Administration. These food safety laws are in place for the protection of U.S. citizens and foreign consumers alike. All food product is required to be kept at an appropriate temperature, depending on what type of food it is, such as fish, eggs, vegetables, etc. When working with products such as chicken, it is required that employees be extremely vigilant due to the possibility of cross-contamination. All kitchen equipment must be properly maintained and kept clean. Employees are required to regularly switch gloves and wash hands in between each swap to possibly prevent cross-contamination. All food is to be dated to a specific time of expiration depending on the ingredients inside each product, prepared by the kitchen in order to prevent mold and disease. In an article by Websteront, these current laws and their reasoning can be found as to why they are in place, as well as the dangers that follow when they are ignored. These are problems that come when employees and other staff of the kitchen choose to ignore these laws that have been put in place. By not changing gloves, washing hands, or properly washing food prior to consumption, diseases can and will spread through cross-contamination. Failure to fulfill food requirement law by staff of the kitchen will lead to many poor safety inspections, which can lead to complete shutdown of the restaurant. Bad reputation of poor quality food can lead to complete failure of the business. Failure to follow through with food safety protocol can lead to charges being brought upon the individual staff member responsible for the outbreak. Problems arise for both the business and the consumer when a restaurant decides to go cheap with the route and with a low-grade food product. Non-compliance towards these laws is the root of all issues surrounding this problem. Incidents happen yearly that lead to sickness outbreaks for consumers. In a report by the KTVU News of California on October 20th, 2015, the Maricas San Juan, a Mexican seafood restaurant in California, was shut down due to a breakfast in Chigalo created by kitchen staff failing to wash their hands and then handling the food. This resulted in 80 cases across California. In an article by Michael Nettleman of CNN, he discusses an annual food report grading process that grades where Americans' fast food chains stand on the quality of their product being served to consumers. While some restaurants received a grading of A, such as Panera, Chipotle, Chick-fil-A, falling right behind with a B, some of our favorite received an A, an F, such as Olive Garden, Cracker Barrel, Arby's, and Little Caesars. This led to significant loss in business due to poor food quality grade. Now that we are aware of a current issue in our society, we need to discuss ways that it can be resolved. In order to resolve this problem, we must form stricter food safety requirement laws and hold those who do not follow them accountable for their actions. By placing stricter requirement laws on franchises and local chains, we may solve this issue. Federal law requirement should require all restaurant staff, franchise or local, to be tested with a food safety course that ensures all possible staff are aware of the dangers prior to outbreaks. State law requirements should mandate that anyone found directly disregarding food safety should be tried by jury depending on the level of offense. State law requirements should mandate that companies require a minimum of 1 year of service within the kitchen for those being prospected as upcoming managers. State law requirements should state that cell phones be left in a secured location from clock in to clock out. This will help prevent cross-contamination. Federal law requirement would state that if a person being examined for employment has a record of offense in a kitchen prior, they must undergo a series of tests challenging their current knowledge of food safety. These newly placed laws must be delivered and overseen to success by agencies assigned to specific types of situations for franchises and local chains alike. The USDA will be in charge of making sure that all culinary product for its kitchen's menu being imported from foreign countries have a report filed on that product, followed by a report being sent to the state seeking to use this product in regard to the safety and history of the product itself. The CDC will be in place over making sure, firstly, that the U.S. consumers are more informed with better advertising. They will also make an informative chart stating an employee contract the dangers of cross-contamination. The OSHA will be responsible for going into the kitchens and setting annual training seminars that are required for further employment within the company. These training seminars will be purposed in making employees aware of previous safety requirements, as well as new current law requirements being implemented. The FSIS will go into the kitchens randomly for routinely checks, deciding whether the kitchens in question is up to the current requirement code. They will file a report that will immediately be sent to the FDOH or health agency representing that state. The FDOH or other state agency will then continue to enforce current news laws created. That agency will be the most prominent force that pushes and enforces these new laws. The consumer of the U.S. are the ones who have real power to make a real difference. Lastly, I will discuss my personal stance towards this problem. It is my personal belief that our kitchens all around America, from food trucks to gourmet restaurants, should be held to a higher standard of food quality requirements to prevent a sickly economy and people. America is a land of opportunity and culinary diversity. Every day there are millions of people creating food for millions of other Americans every day. I believe that if we hold our kitchens to these new degrees, progress in this field will follow. I and others I know have been personally victimized by the carelessness of people who simply were not monitoring the food as they should have been, checking temperatures and washing produce properly. I myself am a certified food manager, and I wish to see the consistency of health being made a priority in our kitchens. If we choose to be more health conscious of our kitchens, we can receive many benefits by these solutions being put in place. We can see a healthier economy and a healthier American people based on the quality of product being consumed. We as consumers can be more at ease because we are now more informed about our health. CEOs can benefit by knowing their employees have been made aware by their health safety tests and have the potential to give the company a better reputation than it had prior. By not seeking to be more health conscious in our kitchens, it will create some major problems that we may not be able to resolve. People become complacent and distracted without law and supervision. They begin to make more and more careless mistakes daily that affect consumers. Poor health practices lead to a bad reputation, and that destroys a business. As employees become careless, we have the great risk of cross-contamination, leading to very deadly diseases. Failed restaurant businesses lead to a failed and dying economy. Some action steps our community can take and support are: reach out to your favorite restaurants and ask them about their current health codes and how often they have health inspections. Make the issue known by telling your bad experiences with others across the country through social media. Reach out to the FDOH or your personal state agency asking questions about current codes. Through this presentation, we have learned of the current problem in the U.S. of poor food quality choices in both local and chain restaurants, and how non-compliance with current law requirements can cause major issues. Concluded by my personal stance on this issue and action steps that can be taken to address this problem and further resolve it. As previously mentioned, it is important to maintain a healthy food level grade in restaurants, and to debate how poor quality product can lead to poor health inspections. bad reputation from customers, and a dead business. America is the crown jewel of culture diversity on earth. We have opportunity to be a profitable nation not only because of the quality of that food, but its uniqueness as well. It is up to us whether we will choose to be a healthier, not just for us, but for the generations ahead of us. Challenge these restaurants, but make good practices within your own home kitchen as well. In a quote from the CDC, remember, when you gamble with your safety, you bet your life. Thank you.